If you've been in a long relationship and everything feels calm, this message is for you. Not because something is wrong, but because this is usually when people stop paying attention. I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to explain something most people only understand after it's too late. People think relationships end with arguments, with shouting, with doors slamming. They don't. Most long relationships end quietly, slowly, while both people are still sharing a bed. After many years together, emotional distance doesn't announce itself. It blends in. It looks like peace. It sounds like routine. It feels like stability. From a psychological perspective, this is the most dangerous phase, because nothing feels urgent anymore. And when nothing feels urgent, people stop asking questions. Let me clarify something important. Loyalty is not maintained by love alone. It's maintained by awareness. Long-term couples often believe time itself creates safety, that history protects them, that shared memories function like armor. They don't. Time only creates familiarity, and familiarity reduces alertness. Most betrayals don't start with desire. They start with emotional absence, a feeling of being unseen, unchallenged, unnoticed. And the human brain is wired to seek stimulation where routine has gone silent. Here's something I see repeatedly in therapy. People notice changes. They just don't interpret them correctly. Less eye contact, more time on the phone, more emotional neutrality, less curiosity about each other's inner world. These aren't dramatic signs. That's why they're dismissed. The mind prefers explanations that preserve comfort. Work stress, age, normal phase. Psychologically, this is called cognitive minimization. We reduce the importance of signals to avoid emotional disruption. Not because we're stupid, because we're human. Silence is not the absence of conflict. It's often the presence of avoidance. When couples stop arguing, it doesn't always mean they're mature. Sometimes it means they've stopped engaging. And disengagement is fertile ground for parallel emotional lives. People rarely cheat because they want sex. They cheat because someone else listens differently, looks differently, reflects them differently. The affair becomes a space where they feel alive without responsibility. Not better, just lighter. This part is uncomfortable, but necessary. Most people who live double lives don't experience themselves as villains. Psychologically, they compartmentalize. One life here, another life there, each with its own emotional logic. They tell themselves stories. I deserve this. It doesn't affect my partner. I'll end it eventually. The brain is very good at justifying behavior when consequences are delayed, especially when comfort is preserved on both sides. Short affairs end quickly. Long affairs last because they're efficient. They don't disrupt the primary relationship immediately. They coexist. That's why many betrayals last years, not weeks. From a psychological standpoint, this isn't impulsive behavior. It's adaptive behavior. The person is meeting unmet needs without dismantling their existing structure. Two lives, one stable, one stimulating, until something forces collapse. If you've been on the receiving end of this, there's something you should understand. The pain isn't just about betrayal. It's about time distortion. You suddenly revisit years of memories, now contaminated by doubt. Moments you thought were neutral now feel false. Normal days feel staged. Psychologically, this creates identity confusion. You don't just question your partner, you question your own perception. And that's often the deepest wound. I wasn't happy isn't an explanation. It's a conclusion. Happiness doesn't disappear suddenly. It erodes. And erosion happens when communication stops being honest. don't leave relationships when they're unhappy. They leave when staying no longer costs them anything emotionally. Fear keeps people loyal longer than love does. And when fear fades, choices change. Stability is often misunderstood. Stability is not emotional connection, it's predictability. You can predict someone's schedule, their reactions, their role. But predictability doesn't mean intimacy. In fact, too much predictability kills curiosity. And curiosity is what keeps people emotionally present. When curiosity dies, people start looking elsewhere. Not because they hate their partner, but because they feel invisible. Here's the question most people avoid asking themselves. When was the last time we truly talked? Not about logistics, not about plans, but about thoughts, fears, internal changes. Long relationships fail when partners stop updating each other. People evolve silently, and when no one is paying attention, the gap grows unnoticed. Paying attention doesn't mean suspicion, it means presence. Noticing emotional shifts without accusation, addressing distance without panic, asking questions without interrogation. Psychological safety is built through curiosity, not control. And once curiosity disappears, emotional drift becomes inevitable. This is important. Understanding these patterns is not about blaming anyone, it's about realism. People don't betray because they're evil. They betray because they adapt poorly to emotional stagnation. This doesn't excuse the behavior, but it explains it. And understanding patterns is the first step toward prevention. If your relationship feels calm but distant, stable but emotionally thin, don't ignore that feeling. Not because betrayal is guaranteed, but because emotional neglect always leaves consequences. Silence doesn't protect relationships, it erodes them. Let me leave you with this. Healthy, long relationships aren't quiet. They're alive. They have tension, curiosity, discomfort. Comfort without connection is not safety, it's sedation. Pay attention, not out of fear, but out of respect for your own life. Because the most painful realizations in relationships aren't about what happened, they're about how long it was happening.